All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome. It's bright and early, isn't it? I think this might be the earliest stream I've ever done, so should be a ton of fun. Looks like everybody's still waking up. Good cup of coffee. Ready to see this reveal trailer, which I just looked it up. Let's go ahead and look at this real quick. It looks like we got a few more minutes here at least. Let me go ahead and get Discord ready because I know I'm going to have some friends join me in Discord. So, according to this, it's super small. I don't know why I can't see this. Hold on. Oh, 75 minutes. That can't be right. I thought it was at 9. I guess it's going to be 9:30 my time. I know Poohty T is going to be joining me in the Discord chat. I think Raj may be popping in here in just a little bit. And so, yeah, we should have a lot of really good stuff. Should be fun. Some news dropped. Let me see if I can get this up on the screen. How can I do this? Let me see. See if our Windows capture would do this. Well, that's T-Tiny. That's definitely not what we want. Let's do this. I want to show you guys some of the stuff that was leaked this morning. Let's see if this will work. Make that a little bit bigger. Sorry, I'm kind of doing this on the fly here. Well, that's not what I want. There we go. Let's see if this will work. I don't know if this is going to work or not. We're going to give it a shot, though. I guess it's not going to show it. Well, that's unfortunate. All right, plan B. There's always a plan B. We're going to change this to Discord. There we go. That's way too big. Poohty T, I don't know if you're watching this, but that GIF always creeps me out. That woman is looking at that piece of chicken with some hungry eyes. All right, let me pull this up real quick because I know Poohty posted in a little chat that we have some photos. There we go. So I think this was some stuff that was leaked from Tom Henderson this morning, and I have not been able to read any of this just yet. But it's some photos from I'm assuming what we're going to see today. And they're gorgeous. I mean, this photo here is unbelievable. This next-gen console should really unlock a lot of stuff. I got to admit, the tornado's a little weird to me. I guess it's kind of neat. We'll have to see how it plays, but I mean, if there's a tornado every single match, it's a little weird. This is a cool shot here outside of... This looks like they're like regular game modes where you have to capture the area or whatnot, where it's just... It is, if you've never played Battlefield, it is action non-stop. Helicopters, planes... It feels like you're dying every couple seconds. And that's another shot of the same thing. All right, so we got U.S. and Russia stand at the brink of war. 7 vast maps from Seoul cities to Egypt deserts. 128 players. Battlefield 2042. So we've been calling it Battlefield 6 for a while now, but I guess officially it is 2042. It will release October the 15th, and members can deploy early with access to the open beta. There's the thing about the trailer today that's coming out is that I hate when you see like the trailer of a new movie that's coming out and they show the best parts of the movie in the like 45-second trailer that comes out. And then you watch the movie and you're like, I could have just watched the trailer and that was it. Like, so much has been leaked. So much has come out. I hope that there's still something that they've held back that's a little bit impressive. Here's some player models. Hey, it's me. There's always an old dude. There's always a young whippersnapper. And there's always the dude that goes way too far. Yeah, there we go. Thank you, Endless. I don't know if you're watching, but I appreciate it. All right, we're just sitting here waiting. These are some beautiful photos, though. I don't know how much we can really glean from them, but you can tell they're going to be very Battlefield, right? They're going to be very action-oriented. You know, I didn't get into Firestorm when it first came out, mainly because we were playing PUBG, and that's been such a big piece of this community. PUBG's kind of really grown into its own monster, and it's still a really enjoyable game. You have to get over the graphics, but after you get over the graphics, the gunplay is just unbelievable. And the first-person mode in there is very challenging, but also at the same time, you feel like it's an even playing field for everybody. As we know with third person, you can just stare at walls and see. But we started getting into Battlefield whenever it came out free on PlayStation, and it's actually really enjoyable. It's, you know, pre-World War II, or it is in World War II. You got old guns, very few scopes, but it's a really fun game. Like the EA always, their graphics are above and beyond, right? And their maps are usually really, really good. Even in Call of Duty, right, their maps are exceptionally well. And I love the fire. If you ever played Firestorm, instead of just like a random green, blue mist that's pushing you in, it's a fire that's pushing you in. It's really well done. So it gives me a lot of high hopes that this is going to be a really fun game. I think they fumbled up how it first came out, but it should be a really fun game. So clearly you can jump out of planes and use a suit to skydive down. Clearly you can see something according to, you know, the goggles here. You're probably going to have some type of readout that's coming up, some type of information that's going to come with this suit. It's interesting. I don't know what the guys are saying. There we go. I got the big thumbs up. You found it. It's too late, you suckers. This one here, though. This, to me, wraps up Battlefield in a nutshell. It is all the action that you could ever want, all wrapped up in a one photo. I mean, we've got multiple bombs going off. We got fires off to the right. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 helicopters flying around. We've got people everywhere shooting. I see at least 1, 2, 3, 4 tanks, a couple other vehicles flying around here. I mean, you know, you put 128 people in a map with vehicles and planes, it gets hairy quick. I personally love that mode for a good warm-up because you can get in there in 5 minutes. You got into the flow of the game. You got your reaction speeds are caught up. You're ready to rock and roll, and things are doing well. And so it's a great warm-up. I will say, my one complaint, my one complaint about Battlefield. That I like about PUBG that even Call of Duty I feel like doesn't do very well is you got to shoot somebody like 5,000 times. And that's the one thing I don't like. You got to, I mean, if you play Battlefield, you're going to have to hone in on headshots. You're going to have to like laser them and just stay there and not get twitchy, because if you get twitchy in Battlefield, you're not going to finish them off. So I guess on one hand, it does award guys who have really good gunplay. And then the second hand, it feels like it also rewards people who maybe just get lucky. We got a lot going on today. The OMFL is in their NFC Championship game. We got the Battlefield dropping tonight. Last night we had a long stream with our buddy Winovis, who came on, and we talked a little NHL and kind of how NHL could connect to Madden and some like lessons that it can learn from Madden. So it was fun. It was a good night. I wonder why it's not letting me interact. Oh, there he goes. It says 64 minutes. Is it in an hour? I see other people asking that too. It must. I don't know if it's wrong. Oh, it's saying I'm in the wrong stream. Click the Twitter stream. All right, let's see if we can go figure this out real quick, because it's saying that we's wrong. All right, let me do a little searching here. Poohty T, where you at? Poohty said his computer's in slow mode. Here we go. Let's see if we can find the stream. No. Is this gonna be it? Let's see. This is it. All right, we're gonna fix this situation. We got 2 minutes. All right. So evidently we were in the wrong one. I don't know how that was possible, but it says we were in the wrong one. So we fixed it. We're gonna be in the right one now. All right. What up, Poohty T?
Can you hear me, man?
What up, Poohty? No, I'm just kidding. Yes, I can hear you. How's it going, man?
Good, man. How about yourself?
I'm doing well. 1.5 minutes. We were in the wrong stream, Poohty T. I don't know how that happened, but evidently Battlefield has many streams, and it was saying that it was coming live in an hour, but we found the right stream. We got 1.5 minutes. Do you have it pulled up, sir?
I'm working on it, man. My computer's been so stupid this morning, dude.
Here, let me.
I just have got it booted up.
Let me give you the right one, just so that you can watch along with me.
Okay.
Just in case, because I did see Endless post it one, but I don't know if it's the correct one. So like I said, there was another one that looked exactly like this from Battlefield, but it said it wasn't premiering for an hour, and We knew that wasn't right. We got a minute here, so that's not a lot of time, but tell me, what'd you think very, very quickly about those early drops?
Well, they were showing earlier some of the. It showed like 4 player models, kind of, and
Yep.
they all looked very good in graphic quality. They looked very realistic. The ghillie suit dude looked tremendous. I mean, just that was awesome. You know, a lot of times ghillie suits on games seem to look kind of goofy, I think, but this one looked really awesome. So that was pretty cool to see. Let me see if I
Here
can
we
pull
go,
up-
Poohty T. It's live. Let's see if we can get some sound here.
Okay, yeah, I see it now. Oh yeah, yeah. Some of the information seemed like. I think this is going to be their best one since Battlefield 4. That's my prediction.
Oh no! My internet hiccuped. Come back. There it goes.
Rerouting. Are you watching? Or are you having to reload?
Yep. No, I'm watching it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty pumped about it, man.
I don't know why we
Got
don't
it.
have sound though.
Got a good feeling. You don't have sound? I can hear it.
The stream doesn't have sound. I've got sound, but for whatever reason,
I can hear the sound on the stream, but it's not
Oh.
pleasant right now. Not a pleasant sound.
okay, Battlefield, we get it. We get it. Get to the point.
Yeah, yeah. We saw this for the last 3 days. Let's move on.
That's my thing about this. I mean, there's nothing to talk over right now, but I hate when
Yeah.
they let so much go. There just doesn't seem to be a lot of good stuff left. So they need to
Right.
blow me away here. All right, this is starting to
Yeah,
get lame. It's like we get the point.
I guess in their mind, it's like making sure everyone has time to get in and get
Yeah, no, I get it.
get set up. But like, I'm
The
with you.
sound
like,
is not
this top
nice
place
though.
is no, it's not. It's not good in these headphones. I feel like it's a little much. Let's see.
Let me turn it down a hair just because.
Well, like one of the leaks earlier said,
Oh
going
no!
to have 7 maps at launch, up to 128 players.
Oh
Gonna
no,
come out
Poohty T.
October 15th.
This can't be right.
What?
It's saying it's not releasing for an hour.
What?
No way! Really? Why would they do that?
I do not know. Well, I did see somewhere that someone was saying that it didn't start until 11 o'clock Eastern.
So they
Okay.
just went live to do an hour countdown.
So yeah,
Get out
yeah,
of here,
anyway.
EA.
I'm just gonna go over some of the. It says it's supposed to release October 15th. It says members can deploy early with access to the open beta. I don't really know what that means. I think you have to pre-order or something to get early access to the open beta, but the open beta is going to be open to anyone, I think. But you might can get early access if you pre-order. But the screenshots earlier, the wingsuit dude with the tornado behind it, that looked pretty cool.
Yeah, you
Just
can even
graphically
see
speaking.
something on the glasses. Thanks, Ryan. I'm trying to figure out
Yep.
why. There's a weird thing with OBS that if you do a browser, the sound gets crazy. So I'm gonna get it figured out. Clearly, we have an hour now, Ryan, to figure it out. So I will definitely work on that right now and get it figured out. Yeah, so you can see the graphical stuff on the glasses, which I thought was kind of neat, and it'd be interesting to see how that works. Like, is that just a suit that you have to pick up? Is it something that everybody gets? Because I'm just kind of like, that's the thing I love about PUBG is like, you all start the same. Like in your battle royal, everybody's starting out at ground zero. Now go find what you find. And I like that randomness. I like that opportunity. You got to kind of go earn it. I hate when people, everybody starts out with like all this extra stuff,
Yeah.
What do you think about the one screenshot that is like as Battlefield can be, with the 2 buildings, the 6 helicopters, the tanks? Like, it is mass chaos, which is as Battlefield as things can be. That was a really interesting screenshot.
Yeah, I really like that one. That was I thought that was pretty cool. And then the one with the tank also I thought was just a graphical detail of the people, the shadows, the tank, the helicopter, the smoke. I mean, the ground itself, all of it just looks super real. So I'm really feeling like this is going to be one of those true next gen, experiences if you have a new generation console, which is what a lot of people in shooters have been wanting. So I think that's going to be it's going to be pretty nice. Because the rumor has said there won't be any crossplay, and I think it won't crossplay with past gen, right? So because the past gen version is going to be a lot watered down compared to the new gen, is what all the rumors have been pointing to.
I can't believe we have an hour. It comes out. That's unbelievable. Okay. I am trying. I think I might have figured this out, Ryan. So we're gonna get it put back up here. What are you hoping to see here, Pooty? Number one, are you gonna be able to hang out with me for an hour?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
No water issues in Virginia today. Okay.
No, I'm at the beach, bro.
Oh, you're at the beach. Look at you. I knew that
man,
you went to I thought you went to the beach, but I thought you were already back.
No, we don't come back till Sunday, so we're down here until Sunday. We're just hanging out this morning, kind of relaxing. Everyone woke up kind of late, and getting a late start to the day. So
nice. Well, I thought I figured this out. Let's see. Let's do this. Let's do an audio capture. So a lot of information coming out from oh my gosh, why am I forgetting his name? Twitter guy. What's his name? Who's the guy that's dropping all this information?
Tom Henderson.
Tom Henderson, that's it.
Yeah.
Do you think those are leaks that like are given to him, that they purposely like are releasing to kind of build up hype?
I think it is, and I've thought that from the beginning. I feel like even if he doesn't know that, someone, whoever is providing him this information, I believe is part of marketing. I believe that someone within DICE or EA marketing said, "Hey, leaks happen, and why not just use it to our advantage to build the hype? We'll leak this stuff out, and make it seem like it's some random person doing it, but really, I believe it's someone from within the company intentionally doing it to help build the hype for the game. I mean, because there wasn't really much anything for the last few days, and then right before everything goes out this morning, like lots of stuff came out, just this morning. So it makes me kind of feel like that's the case.
Ryan, let me know if you got audio now. It should be good. I think I fixed it. Maybe we'll see. We'll find out. Yeah, I think it did. Yay on me. So we'll see how this goes. I don't know why, but things are laggy today. Yeah, I know you said who put my computer in turtle mode. I set all this up last night because I did a live stream last night for like an hour and a half. We were talking about NHL and the things that that you can learn from NHL and their franchise mode because it's super in depth. I don't know if you've ever checked out NHL and the depthness of their franchise. Anyway, the lessons that can be learned for Madden. All right, Ryan, I'll turn it back up. I definitely turned it down because it was not a pleasant sound, and it was just not very fun. But anyway, I set this all up last night. I was ready to go, and then I get up this morning, and it is like laggy. I don't know why. It doesn't make any sense, but
so
there we go.
If you want, I can just go over some of the things.
Let's talk about it.
Here's some leaked just this morning. So the one thing is wingsuits are confirmed. I think that's kind of a cool thing, and one of the things he said in it was a cool detail is you can propel yourself faster if you get close to a tornado. So I don't know how that's going to play into effect in the maps, but it's going to be 3 editions. It's going to be standard, gold, and ultimate editions. And evidently, this information was already leaked on Origin, which is EA's place where you can buy their games. So some of this information I think he pulled off of that. It says it's going to have 7 launch. So you'll be able to customize weapons, gadgets, and vehicles in battle. You can summon a robotic dog to built for battle, employ a grappling hook, or use your own wingsuit. So it seems like there'll be grappling hooks also. That'll be kind of interesting, to see how those will be used in the game. It's going to launch on October the 15th of this year, which is pretty awesome. I think they normally do it in November, so that's about a month ahead. It's pretty nice. There'll be 4 specialists. There's 1 per season of the year for 1 pass. So they're going to have a battle pass, evidently, it seems like. 4 battle passes, 1 per season. 3 epic skin bundles. Battle passes confirmed. It's going to be U.S. versus Russia, standing at the brink of war. Then he's got the screenshot we were talking about with the guys, the wingsuit and the tank. And there's one screenshot of there's a helicopter, and there's 3 dudes jumping off of this building, or maybe the same dude, and it's just a delayed shot of each. But he jumps off the building and deploys a wingsuit, and he's pretty high up in the air. And down below you can see this.
Where's that screenshot at?
If you go to his Twitter, Tom Henderson's Twitter page, and then you go, he's got one he did 2 hours ago. It says Next Gen Gaming is here, and then he did a follow-up post on that one, and it's right below it. It's pretty cool.
Can you post that in our little chat, because I'd like to show it.
Yeah.
I'd like to show it, but I can't pull up Twitter.
All right.
Why does it keep muting? Every time I pull it back up, it's like, okay, I'm going to remute myself. I'm like, no, stop it.
There it is. I posted it there.
I see it did it again.
That's a pretty neat shot of the dude jumping off the building.
Let me get this back to where everybody can see it.
It says choose your role on the battlefield, from hand-tailored quads to the new specialist system. Based on a battlefield's 4 classes, specialists have 1 unique specialty trait, with the rest of the loadout is fully customizable. This is kind of cool. The wingsuits that's coming, definitely it's coming over from Call of Duty, right? And I know that you kind of had a little bit of a love-hate relationship with wingsuits. How do you feel about this one? Well, I mean, I'll have to see it in action. It's I don't hate it necessarily if it's used in the right areas, like these guys on this picture jumping off the top of this building and flying down. This game is supposed to be happening 22 years in the future from now. So, based on the setting of it, and based on the knowledge of technology of stuff that we have today, I mean, I can see where it can fit in that timeline of what they're trying to do. They're trying to give a slightly futuristic warfare, but not futuristic. I don't know. We'll just have to see how it plays
I
out.
I like
I'll
how
be
PUBG does it, where it's like something you got to find, and like you have to sacrifice something else to have it, and then it's like a one-time use situation. Like I would be
yeah,
pretty cool with it if it's something similar to that. The thing about Call of Duty is everybody has it all the time, and so then it becomes it's a little bit like, I know you and I are Madden guys, and that's originally where we kind of became friends, but like it becomes a gimmick that people start to use to their advantage. And so instead of this even
yeah,
playing field, there's like these gimmicks that people use to cover up, gameplay or whatever. And if you're like really, really, really good, now it's like an extra advantage that you have. And that's the thing I like about PUBG is that I feel like there's no there's nothing that like is an always advantage, right? Like that's always helping you either
right.
be better than you are, or if you're already an elite player, be even more elite. And like wingsuits, I think can become that. Like, am I making sense of what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, yeah. Well, and that's kind of the key is how it's implemented. How is it? How are you able to access it and use it? And can you abuse it? If it's something that can be abused and give you an advantage, then it's not cool. If it's something that you can use, like you said, a one-time use to get off of a building or get off of let's say you're a website or something, I can see where that would be cool to use, because I know where like PUBG added the emergency pickup, you can land on top of rocks
Yeah,
now, and then you get up there and you have no way down except falling to your death kind of. So, having access to something like that to get down is a cool thing. But like you said, it comes down to how is it implemented, how is it it just depends on how they add it in. Just you know how either effective it can be or over effective it can be. So
yeah.
it's one of those things we'll have to see. And I really don't think they're gonna reveal anything about their battle royale today. I think this is going to be solely about the multiplayer for
Yeah? Why do you think
normal
that?
Battlefield. Well, one, because for Battlefield 5, when they first revealed it, they didn't really mention anything about the battle royale. They waited like a month or two after that to really say anything about the battle royale. And it came out, I don't know, 4 or 5 months later after the game launched, which is something that I really hope they don't do with this because I don't think it's wise. I think they should release it with the full game. It should, if they really want to pull people in, when the game launches, you have a lot of hype around the game. That's a good time. If you're going to have, like the rumor has said, it's going to be free to play, which it should be, because all the other battle royales besides PUBG is, you want to have that ready at launch, so you get as many people playing as possible, and use the format that Call of Duty used of
Yeah,
making it to where you see other parts of their game
yeah.
to
That's what
entice
I
you
was
to
gonna
want to buy
ask. Is
this.
like, do you think that maybe they learn lessons with Warzone that makes them that they won't delay the battle royale? And it's like, I guess it's shocking to me just from the fact of like battle royals are so hot right now. Like they are the thing that people want to play. Like why would you not drop some news about it? You know?
Well, and I hope that I'm wrong. I really would like to see information about it today, but just off of what they did last time, I don't know that they will. But what you're saying, did they learn lessons? I don't know, but I hope they did because one of the things that killed Firestorm was the fact that it was basically hidden behind a $60 paywall. You had to buy
Yeah.
the full game in order to play it,
And it's
and
I
it's
was
just a
talking about
mode.
that before you joined me. It's a fun game. Like I'm
Right?
probably a PUBG guy first because I just love their gameplay. They've got some really fun maps, and that's where most of us play right now. But I also
Yeah.
really like it when we go play Firestorm. Like I've always loved the
Yeah.
idea of the fire pushing you in. It's a
Yep.
fun game. I will always have the same complaints about Battlefield that I've had since day one. I feel like it's really, really hard to kill people. Like you got to shoot them a zillion times. I wish it was a
Yeah.
little bit more like PUBG in that area of where
Right.
it feels like if I shoot you in the head 3 times, you probably should drop. Like I'm just gonna throw that out
Yeah.
there. If I shoot you in the
Yeah.
chest 8 times, you probably dropped way before the 8 times. So I just
Yeah.
wish it was a little bit more realistic on how long it took to drop people. And I get it's a video game. Like if they made it super realistic, nobody would play. But it just feels like it's a little too hard. But anyway, I'm rambling just to say that Firestorm is a lot of fun. And I know like the big
Yeah,
complaint when you started playing was like it's World War II and like those old style games are they're just not that great when it comes to gunplay and stuff. But like I find it a really fun experience. Make it a little bit easier to drop people, not super easy, but just a little bit easier, a little closer to
yeah,
PUBG, and get rid of that stupid slide stuff. Like I will say,
yeah,
Battlefield Firestorm like took away the jump mechanism. Like there's no more of this like hopping around like a bunny rabbit to escape getting shot. But that slide thing is ridiculous. Like take that thing
yeah,
out.
yeah. I agree, and that was one of the biggest complaints a lot of people had about Firestorm and Battlefield 5 in general was, and I don't think it was this way at launch because I remember playing the beta of Battlefield 5 and it was this way, but evidently, EA did EA's thing where after they launched the game, people, some people complained that they were dying too easy, so they basically increased what is called TTK, which means time to kill. Um, they increased that, so it took more bullets to kill someone, basically. And that's one of the complaints still about that game now is they
Yep.
didn't go back and reduce that. They just left it where it was. And if you ever
And
go
it's
back and
always
play
kind of been
Battlefield
that way
4,
with Battlefield.
well, Battlefield 4, if you go back and play it, I think they had it. I think they had their time to feel right. You
Yeah.
know,
I haven't
it,
played
it
that in a
was
very long time.
it was it was a little bit easier to drop someone, but it wasn't super easy. Like
Yeah.
kind of like what you were saying. It was kind of in the middle of what they have now and being too easy. And taking forever to drop someone. So I do think I'm hoping that this one will go back to a Battlefield 4 of style form of how long it takes to drop someone. And that's one of the things, about the beta is I definitely want to jump in it and give the feedback on it. And I'm sure a lot of people are because
Totally.
that's one of the biggest complaints I've read, on Reddit and other places that people still have. And they're like, Battlefield 5 could be great if you guys would have just fixed the time to kill, And so I'm hoping, hopefully they've read this stuff enough and they've learned from it. Um, the Going back to their battle royale, I think it has the potential to be the best one, and EA has seen because of Apex. EA is the one that did Apex Legends, and I read a thing recently like they made over $1 billion last year off of that game. It's free to
Off of
play, so
Apex?
yeah,
That's nuts,
so
man.
they already know they already have a model that proves to them free to play battle royale makes you plenty of money. You know? So there's no reason to hide it behind a $60 paywall. They've seen what Warzone did with getting more people into Call of Duty by putting it on the main page of the game, and having it accessible right there to where you can just buy the game and you already have it downloaded. You can just start playing the game. A lot of people I think complained about if they just want to play Warzone, why not download the whole game? But I think that was the whole reason, was to make that access to the game so easy that if you're playing Warzone and you see
Yep.
something cool about the other part of Call of Duty and you want to buy it, you buy it easy. I think that's their plan, and that's why they did it. Of course, 200 gigabyte game takes up a lot of space on stuff, so people weren't finding that. But um, I think it's a good model in that sense. So as far as if you're trying to market your game and trying to make it easy access, that makes sense to me. So um, I really hope that EA looks at how they've made money off of Apex and makes the right move because I do think graphically, sound wise, Battlefield has always been, to me, one of the premier shooters as far as that goes. Their graphics are great. Their world destruction is awesome,
Yeah,
and unmatched by
their
any
graphics are
any
always going
other
to be
game.
next gen, and their world destruction is amazing. Like even their
And their
sound,
sound
like
are
when
always,
we
yeah.
played Firestorm, like you
Hmm.
literally feel like you are in a fire. Like you can hear the trees crackling, the fires coming. It's legit, man.
Yeah, I mean, like you can literally hear the wood in the houses being destroyed as the fire consumes the house. Like that's how detailed they go, and that's when, like I said, to me, Battlefield has always been premium in these things over all these other shooters.
Yeah.
So you've got that going for them, and their gameplay, to me, as far as a shooter goes, is second best to PUBG. I don't think any game right now that's out touches PUBG's gunplay and how it feels. Each gun feels different. Each gun handles different. They feel like a realistic feel. There's no aim assist. All those things I think are awesome additions. And Battlefield comes in second on all that. But you know, they have a chance right now to really grab a hold of the battle royale. You know, people who love that, because a lot of people have gotten tired of Warzone. You know, I've heard a lot of complaints about it. People are down a lot. So there's a lot of opportunity there, and the same thing for PUBG. You know, they're kind of losing people because they're not really. I mean, they're coming out with a new map soon. You know, this month I think it's the end of this month. But you know, they haven't done a true next gen update. All the other battle royales have already done that like months ago. So you know, they're kind of falling behind, and with this coming up this fall, you know, their time is running short. If they really want to hold on to their player base, they're going to have to step up. So I'm really interested to see what Battlefield has here.
You know, competition, right, breeds innovation, and I think that's what we're starting to see from these battle royals. Question that I'd love, and Endless is in the chat. Endless, thanks for hanging out with us, buddy. I thought we'd have way more than this, but I think there's just 2 or 3 of us right now. But it's cool. It is early and people are having to work. But riddle me this, both Endless and Poohty. What do they do about cheaters? Which, from what I understand, PUBG on the surface, PUBG has done a better job about cheaters. And it, from what I'm understanding, it has almost ruined Warzone. And a lot of big players stopped playing Warzone because of the cheaters. How does Battlefield handle that up front?
Well, the first thing I think they should do is not allow. If they allow crossplay with PC, you need to be able to turn it off, because I think that's where, from what I understand,
you think they're going to do that?
I don't know. I mean, with these next-gen consoles, I can see them doing crossplay with PC and next-gen consoles, and then doing crossplay with like last-gen PS4 and Xbox. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can see that being a possibility, and if they do that, they've got to have an option to turn it off, because that's one of the things. You know, PC
it's
always
not even
has
the
more
same. Like, it's not even the same game. Like, it's just not.
Well, you know, I think our next gen consoles will be close to what PC can handle, though. So
no, you're right about that. But like the actual play of the game with a mouse and keyboard it's probably like, I think the floor is much higher. Like it's harder to master. But then the detail about what you can do is so much different than a controller in your hand.
Right. Well, that's why I'm saying they need to have an option to turn that off if they offer. Yeah. Also, because there's a lot more cheaters on PC, because there's a lot more ways to manipulate the game PC than it is consoles. I think you'll still have the issue with strike pack users, just like you have in PUBG and every other shooter. And from what I understand, that really comes down to the consoles themselves, like Microsoft and Sony. They're the ones that are responsible for stopping it if they don't. Like, they should be able to set up ways to like recognize when those things are being used, but they don't do it. And from what I've read and understand about it, that seems to be more of an issue than anything, and I think it's going to happen in this game, unfortunately. And maybe one day someone will figure out an easy way for them to be able to catch people using crap like that and stop them. But I don't know. Every game has cheaters, so it's definitely going to have them. It's just, how much is DA going to invest in stopping it is a real question.
Yeah, Endless says, you know, first he said, can you imagine gunplay with a legit developer? I don't know if that's a shot at PUBG or not, but it's he says
he's right.
Yeah, he wishes them luck in stopping cheaters, and he bets they cross-platform all of them. Endless, I don't know what you mean. Aim assist bridges the gap. Do you think aim assist will be on the battle royal for everybody? And you know, that's the big question. I guess the other thing I'm wondering, you know, we've seen PUBG. You know, they try to get out ahead of this. Clearly, you know, people aren't stupid, so clearly they knew this was coming. They released the information about the new maps, the larger maps, the things that are coming out. You said this in the video that we released about PUBG. Do the new maps mean there is not going to be a PUBG 2, and instead they're just going to keep updating the game? Part of me, what the hell do I know, but part of me says maybe they scrap PUBG 2 because they're like, holy cow, Battlefield's coming out. They're doing all this other stuff. Warzone was a big hit for a bit there. We actually don't have time to develop a whole new game. We actually need to come up with some new stuff before we lose their audience. My question to both you and Endless is does Battlefield become a PUBG killer? They're already losing their player base. There's the argument of first person, third person. You can't play ranked on first person. It's like the great divide when it comes to PUBG. Does Battlefield 2042 become the PUBG killer?
I think it's a possibility because, at least on consoles, because the player base is already so low, and I mean, pretty much everyone that's playing it right now are just dying for a realistic shooter that has, next gen style graphics and
Yeah.
gameplay, and I mean, and performance also, and that's, PUBG. As much as I love that game, they're not doing what they need to do to keep up, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And when you have a new game that comes out like this, I think again, I think on Battlefield they really need to come out with Battle Royale early. It needs to be free to play. If they do that, it's going to make so many people just try it, and then even if the gunplay isn't quite as good as PUBG, if it's close and it's really good and everything else is exceptional and like awesome and looks like it belongs on a new gen console, people are gone, man. I mean, that's the bottom line, in my opinion. That's what I can foresee happening. Now, I haven't seen the new maps that PUBG's putting out, so maybe they are better graphically. Maybe they perform better. I don't know. Maybe they do a true next gen update that really blows us people away. But I doubt it because they're using this old Unreal Engine 4 custom thing that they made, and they refuse to get away from it because it costs so much. And it's like, well, it's going to cost you even more by not doing it. So, I don't know.
Part of me goes, are they going to try to focus on the past gen since not everybody has a next gen? And if they do that, it's really going to hurt them, and it's really going to be tough. And it's funny because I remember you purchased that football game. Did you get the Doug Flutie one? Because there was two of them.
Yeah. Doug Flutie, yeah.
And you and I kind of had the conversation. I was like, man, I just can't. The graphics are so bad. I just can't get over it. I can't even give that game a try. And you were like, well, for me, it's number one, it's cheap, and number two, it's like the gameplay was worth giving a shot, and I get to support a smaller engine. But there is a balance about sooner or later you've invested in a next gen console. Sooner or later you're like, okay, like I'm ready to get a real good realistic update. And PUBG seems to put all their focus on gunplay. Matter of fact, Endless just said depends completely on how they enhance the battle world space. Destruction environments will help big time, but if it's just point and click type of gunplay, then it'll suffer. Need the bullet drop realism.
The world's first category 6 storm is just hours from pummeling North America.
A category 6 hurricane. So we know there are tornadoes. And it looks like we just got a little Easter egg that a category 6 hurricane might be in this game.
All right, so one of the leaks that I had read a while back, and I think maybe Tom Henderson said it or someone else, that basically, I don't know how much you know about this, but governments for years now have been working on trying to weaponize the weather. This is like, some people say this is not real. It is a real thing that they've been doing for years,
it's named something, because someone told me about it. I forget what it was called, but it's got a name where they can control the weather.
And so one of the rumors was that that's going to be part of the warfare in the games and in the maps. You're going to have like these massive tornadoes and hurricanes and stuff like that, which is actually weapons that the governments are using, in the map as part of the warfare. And that's why you'll see it often in a lot of things. And I think that could be a very big possibility that's what this is about. It's kind of hinting towards, the world powers are using their power that they've learned to harness the weather and use it to their advantage. But
I wish they had a few more drops. about that. Like, you know, the little hurricane drop. Like, I wish they had a couple more drops like that. I said this earlier today. I said it last night. Like, I hate, um, I hate whenever I see a trailer for a movie and then I go see that movie. Like, the trailer makes me want to see the movie. I go watch the movie and I was like, oh crap, I should have just watched the trailer. Like, they put all the best parts of the movie in there. Like, so much has dropped about this game in the last, 24 hours. It's like, is there actually anything we've just sat here for an hour. Is there anything they're going to be able to watch on this trailer? What are you hoping to see that they show? What do you think we'll get? You think we're going to get like a real breakdown, or you think we're just going to get like a minute trailer?
Well, I'll say this: if it's just a minute trailer, I'm going to be pissed. That's just the bottom line. I think a lot of people are. I feel like they're going to do a breakdown of things. I don't know how in depth it's going to go. I think it'll give enough information to get people wanting to pre-order it. Because one of the rumors I saw was that the beta is going to happen later this month. If that's the case, they're going to give enough information to get people to want to pre-order. Because one of the things that we saw today was if you pre-order, you'll get early access to the beta. So they're going to have to give out some information if that's true. So I just want to see some. I don't want to just see the cinematic stuff. While it's cool, I want to see actual gameplay. Like,
yeah,
when it comes down to the end of the day, you can make all the great cinematic stuff you want. I've seen games do a whole lot of cool stuff with cinematics, but when you play the actual game, it never looks like that. And to me, that's always disappointing. Like, don't show me something that I can't play. You know, like I've never liked that about games. Whenever they do trailers for certain stuff, it always looks awesome. Then you go and play it, and it never has that same feel to it. So
I'm terrible with names, especially at what's now 9:30 in the morning, but only one cup of coffee deep. Wacky Jackie, I think, is his name on YouTube. I probably should know this. He's only like a top probably 3 PUBG player in the world. Did you watch his video the other day that he did about bullet drop in the VSS, where he was kind of doing like a super scientific? I wish I could be a full-time gamer and I could come up with really cool ideas. It's such a neat idea. But did you get to watch that one?
say that again.
Did you get to watch the Wacky Jackie video where he was doing the VSS test about bullet drop?
No, I wasn't. I haven't seen that one.
So he put one out about, I don't know, bro, it was like so over my head scientific, but what would a real gun do in real life with bullet drop, and then tested it as close as possible with a VSS on PUBG. And it was like pinpoint accuracy, which just goes to show that like PUBG really has put in the effort to make sure that their gunplay is like top notch. Which kudos, right? It's awesome. I don't think we'll get that with EA games, right? But what should we expect, right? Like, should we expect a better, like, should this be the best BR that they've ever made?
I think it is. I think it will be. My prediction is that this is going to be a great battle royale, but it's also going to be a great game in general. Like I said earlier, Battlefield's gunplay before PUBG came out to me was the best. After PUBG came out, it was second best, but it's pretty high up there. You know, and like what you're saying about how PUBG's attention to detail on their gunplay is pretty pinpoint, you know, according to what Wacky Jackie was showing. If they would just go and put that same amount of attention to detail in their graphics and in their performance of the game, it would be untouchable.
Yeah.
But they don't, you know, and why I don't know, because they've made billions and billions of dollars off the game, so it's not like they can't afford to. I mean, for some
Do you think they have?
reason,
do you really think they've made that kind of money?
Oh yeah, the first year that the game was out in 2018, I actually had seen a chart, and it was showing the top free-to-play games gross for the year, and then it was showing the top paid games, and PUBG was the top paid game that year. in their gross, and they had made they had made like 1.3 billion just in that first year. So I know they've made more than that since then.
That's
Over the last 3 years.
look, total side conversation that has nothing to do with this, but talk about mind-blowing stats. I read something the last like 10 days or whatever that said, you know how much Apple made on just the AirPods, like just the one product? They made $7 billion with a B on just AirPods. Like that, you talk about crazy stats. That kind of was mind blowing to me. Why? Like if you're making 1.2 plus billion dollars with a B, why? Like why? It's just flat out laziness for you not.
Yes.
Updating your graphics, updating your engine. Look, I'm not a developer, so maybe, hey, updating the engine, maybe that's what PUBG 2 is going to be, and maybe that takes years in development. Like, maybe that's why it hasn't happened. I know that when Madden updated their engine to Frostbite, like, they totally had to scrap, bare bones franchise, and NHL doesn't even have online, right? Like, I get that there's some things that play into it, but when our first update for season 12 is pajamas, that's now we're talking about we're lazy. Now we're being lazy.
Yeah, I agree. That was the whole last season was pretty lazy, and the last 2 seasons actually have been the last 6 months for PUBG has been lazy, and that's what I think makes a lot of people upset, knowing that they've made billions off the game, but yet they're not seeming to really put it back into it. So that kind of
$6 million Endless said on just skins. That's amazing. Yeah. The one thing I do have to say about PUBG though, like make your money. I don't give a flip, but what am I trying to say? You said this in the video. Don't give gameplay benefits from people who pay to play instead of the free game. Like, do all the outfits and skins and like all that other fun crap that actually doesn't help anything, so that like those of us who, I'm not a season pass guy, mainly because my wife would murder me if I tried to spend, $15 every couple of weeks, and she'd be like, what the hell are you doing? But it's like, don't give the guy who does want to pay for the season pass an actual gameplay advantage. And I think PUBG does that really well. Now, we got into Warzone for a couple weeks and everybody stopped playing, so I stopped playing. I don't know if EA has struggled with that or not, but that's the one thing that is a killer for me. If guys get benefits from paying to play, then that's going to be a killer for me. Because I'm also like old-fashioned in that sense of like, if I pay for a game, I don't want to keep paying for the game. Like, I paid for the game. Give me the gameplay I paid for. I don't want to keep paying you for the game unless it's like, stupid cheap, where it's like it just makes sense. But anyway, I'm rambling now just to say I hope it doesn't give gameplay benefits. We're under 20 minutes, Poohty T. My gosh.
Yeah, just speaking on that, I've played all the Battlefields, and I don't think they've ever had a problem with that in the past. As far as, if you pay for something extra, you're not really getting an advantage. It's not giving like your weapon a boost or anything like that. Like, and if you look back at Battlefield 5, everything about it was skin based. You can get a different skin for your character. You can get different outfit. You can get different skins for your guns, but they didn't really give you any type of advantage. And I think that's wise. Like, it's a good way to monetize things, but not change the core of the game and make anyone have an advantage over anything else. So I think that's one thing DICE has done well with. They've shown they know how to handle that without giving people an advantage. I don't foresee that being a problem with this game.
Explain that a little bit about DICE, because from what I understand, that's a little bit of a different relationship than some of the other EA games. And I don't think everybody, who plays these, if they're not like super like deep into the woods, understands that. Explain the DICE relationship with EA a little bit.
Well, I think DICE is its own like development company, but they're also under EA's umbrella, and I think that EA gives DICE more leeway with what they do. Not they don't give them total reign or whatever they want, I don't think, but I think they give them more leeway than say they do with Madden, because EA has this deal with the NFL that's between EA and the NFL, so EA has more oversight. I feel like over Tiburon that does their Madden stuff than they do DICE. So I think DICE has a little bit more of a longer leash, if you will. So I think that gives them more freedom, and I think that's why their games are normally better. In all honesty.
Yeah, we talked about this a little earlier, but did a podcast for over an hour last night. We're gonna do one every Sunday for the next couple of weeks. It's when we normally do my Press Pass Live podcast, but we're gonna specifically look at NHL because it's an EA product, and so I'll say this, like, Fixed Madden franchise came out. I'm super simple guy. I'm easy to please. I've always was like, really, like, you guys are causing all this ruckus because you want coaches. I don't get it. And then we again started this thing with Winovus looking at NHL, and you see the depthness of that franchise. I'm telling you, Pooty, you got to go check it out. Even if you just turn it on while you're at work and listen to it, it's pretty ridiculous what some of these games, and this is EA, this is within their own company, what they're producing with a depthness of a franchise, and it made me go, okay, maybe EA is just being, maybe Madden is just, Tiburon's just being lazy, because clearly somebody has figured this out. The hope with Battlefield is they learn a lot of lessons with Firestorm. There's no way they didn't see a bump whenever they let that game go for free. Clearly it did, because you played it and said it took 4, 5, 6 minutes to find a game. And now when we get and play some Firestorm, and we're finding a game within 2 minutes. So clearly there's been a tremendous bump in Firestorm since they let the game go for free. So hopefully they've learned some lessons. Warzone clearly has taught them some lessons. I know not the same company, but there's no way they're not learning from some of those lessons. So, hopefully we jump into this and get, like Endless said, we do get some Battle Royal news, and we get an idea of what it's going to look like. I said this too, I don't know how you feel about it. Their other modes are fun as a warm-up. I personally don't enjoy, like, so much sensory overload, which is what I think Battlefield goes for sometimes. They want sensory overload with their 128 people, same map, like you're dying every 30 seconds, and just like there's people and bodies and planes and bombs, there's just stuff everywhere. Like, I think it's a fun warm-up, but give me the Battle Royal mode.
Well, I really love the Battle Royale mode, mainly because everything you do is like every move you make, you have to be thinking all the time. A lot of people don't seem to like it, but I prefer the strategy. I prefer to having to think and
Totally.
Having to think about things in a realistic manner. What you should do here, not just running around just shooting for fun. To me, that's one of the core things about Battleground in life. I like that you only have one life.
Hold on one sec, Pooty. They're letting a little Easter egg go. Oh man, they had it so low you can't really hear her, but it was like a news conference situation where they were like people being displaced. I'm sorry, I didn't want to cut you off.
No,
I was like, there's a little Easter egg in there. Let's see if we can get it. But that one was really, really low for some reason.
Yeah, so I mean, you have to really be thinking. There's a lot of mental game in battle royales if you want to do well at it. And for just a normal shooter now, I still do really enjoy Battlefield other modes. I've always liked Conquest, and I've just always really liked that all-out war feeling because it's in first person, and because they do everything so well with the destruction, with the sounds, with the graphics, it really makes you feel like you're actually in a war. So I really enjoy that personally. I enjoy pretty much all their modes that they've done. I've enjoyed each one of them, and I still enjoy playing them. That was, for a long time, Battlefield 4 was like the only shooter I played because I just loved it. It was to me, it was still the best shooter on last gen console overall. I feel. So I really enjoy those modes, but to me, battle royale just so because I grew up playing team deathmatch and shooters, and they were cool, but to me, battle royale is just a higher level of not just of your ability to shoot, to think quickly and react quickly, and, reacting on your toes, and being able to, and you have to think so much of so many different situations that you find yourself in. Even though you're playing on the same map, you find yourself in a different situation than before, and you have to figure out how can I get out of this life, because you've got that one life. You don't get a respawn. You die, and to me, there's an adrenaline rush in that just a normal team deathmatch doesn't really provide, because if you die, it's going to be, so you don't have to think as much.
All right, we got 12 and a half minutes before we go live here.
I know, you thought we could do this for an hour.
Man, I didn't. And here, this is, I almost made a probably inappropriate joke there, but it's like we waited all this time, all this build up for what's going to be a 30-second trailer video, and we're going to feel guilty after it's all over with. This is, this comes out, what was the date? It was October, or was it 15th. November? October 15th.
Yeah.
And you have a really good feeling. I mean, who knows? I guess we're all going to find out that the Battle Royale mode will not be hidden behind the full play game.
If they have anyone that works there that has any intelligence, it won't be.
Yeah.
That's just, that's how I feel.
Have you ever looked at stats to see if when Battlefield 5 dropped, if they didn't sell like previous Battlefield 4?
I'm pretty sure that it definitely didn't. I'm pretty sure that I had read a while back that when Battlefield 5 launched, it didn't launch well. It was definitely well under what they expected, and part of that was because they tried to do too much politically correct BS that people didn't want in it. They focused too much on this girl that had a mechanical arm, and it's just some other things that a lot of people just didn't like that they were doing. It's like it took away from the realism, which is what people like Battlefield for. Like you're talking about a World War II game, and you're trying to throw in all this extra stuff that doesn't belong in World War II era. So that turned a lot of people off, and they didn't buy it at launch. And plus, a lot of people, like myself, who are Battlefield fans, after Battlefield 4, we wanted another current shooter, and they went to World War One, and everyone's like, okay, well, we can deal with this for now, but the next one better be current. So then when they went to World War II, a lot of people still didn't buy it just for that reason, and that's why I didn't buy it at launch. Because I'm like, look, I want a current shooter, not.
Is Battlefield a yearly release?
No, it's normally like every couple of years. Call of Duty is a yearly release. Battlefield.
Yeah, I wish we'd see more of that. I really do. I wish we would see more games go to an every. No, they're not, right? Like it's consumerism at its finest. People want the money, and so. But it would be really awesome to see them, go to an every year or an every other year release. That would be a nice change of pace.
Well, and one of the things I think nowadays, when you have these games as a live service, some people don't like that idea. I do like it because if you look at PUBG and what it's done in
every game's a beta.
Yeah, well,
it's just like a beta that never ends.
Well, they keep updating it, and it keeps changing. And, you can add new maps, you can add new features, you can add new stuff. So instead of having to literally build a whole new game, you just keep adding on to what you're doing. And look at Grand Theft Auto 5. That game came out on PS3, and they just keep updating it. They keep updating it, keep updating it, keep adding new stuff.
And it is money making.
It's like the biggest money maker there is, and even in movie industry. So I think it's a good model, and if you produce something well, to me, all right, let's say what they're doing here. they're making this on new gen consoles. So you've got new technology. You can keep adding to that for 5 or 6 years easily before there's new technology that kind of outdates what you're doing. And at that point, you want to look at making a new game, in my opinion. You
Yeah.
know, when there's a new technology that provides a huge boost in what you can do, then you want to switch to a different. You may want to switch to a different game. You know, at
Yeah.
that point. But until then, you just keep updating. And I mean, like I said, Grand Theft Auto's done it for 3 generations now because they're going to update Grand Theft Auto this fall for the new gen consoles. So you can still keep that same game for numerous cycles and
Yeah.
just keep updating it. And I, this is one of those games I think they have a good chance to do that with. Is with Battlefield. This one coming out.
Endless, I'd love to hear what you're hoping to see here. Matt, it's good to see you again, bud. I don't know if you're still in here. I meant to call you out a while ago. And if anybody from the grown folks ends up watching this later, or you're here live with us, make sure you do me a favor. We jumped in a couple weeks ago. Man, that's a terrible song. We jumped in a couple of weeks ago to. It is not nice to the ears. Thankfully for me, it's way, way down, so it's not that high. But I can imagine if you got your headphones pumped up right now, you are regretting that. We jumped into the news a couple of months ago now, and Poohty helps me, and Roger helps me. Roger was supposed to be here this morning too. Well, I don't know where you're at, Roger, but I thought you were going to come hang out with us.
What up, Roger?
They've been helping me keep up with stuff, and we've been trying to pump out news. Look, we all work full time. None of us are YouTube stars yet and able to do this full time. So as of right now, we're trying to keep as up to date and pump out material as much as we can. And I really appreciate Poohty and Raj helping with that, and a couple other guys that help us with that. So go check out some of them. The YouTube shorts are a ton of fun. I've learned, of course, YouTube shorts do not help us get to monetization. They do not help us reach our goals that we want to reach, but there's still a lot of fun. And I think there's an awesome gap there that we're feeling, where usually when you watch a video, it's going to be 8 to 12 minutes long because they're trying to hit that sweet zone for YouTube, which is right at 9 minutes, I think, right now. Whereas YouTube Shorts, within a minute, you can catch what you need to catch, and it causes you to cut the fat. Go give those a like. Go give those a watch. I think that you'll be entertained. They're a lot of fun. I just put out one yesterday that I thought was really fun about an idea for a Madden cover that just came out. Also, we started our fundraiser yesterday. I know Raj has got some ideas about doing some auctions and stuff that we may do, some giveaways and things like that. But, it takes money to run this place, and we could definitely use the help. And I also, I'm a pastor and I'm a Christian, and I'm a big believer in when you get finances off of you and bless other people, those blessings get returned to you 1,000-fold. And so, if you want to help the community out, come be a part of it. If you haven't watched that video, I think it's worth a 3-minute watch. I just kind of tell a little bit of the history about what got us here. It's crazy that this place is, the OMFL is going to make 21 years in January. And this place, I think, is going to make 5 years this year, something crazy like that. I met some of the most amazing people in the world, like Poohty, like Endless, like Matt, like Mo, who works over at Lead Crawler, Poppy, who messaged me this morning. Poohty, Poppy never messages me, so I gotta reach back out to him and make sure everything's good. And so anyway, the fundraiser has started, and we're trying to climb to 1,000 followers. And I'm looking at our activity feed for the past 2 months, and man, we have added a ton of followers, and I am so appreciative. Our video about my what's the word I'm looking for? Sticker bombing my PlayStation 5 has almost 1,000 views, which is super crazy. So help us out, share our content, give us a like and a subscribe if you like what we're doing, and think about come joining us. If you're an adult gamer looking for a safe place where you can meet friends and enjoy in a good, clean, safe environment your hobby, then think about the Grown Folks community. We've also got chats around physical health, spiritual health, mental health. I also run a second YouTube channel for my own personal content around spiritual things. I pastor a community, and so if you're super into that, Home Church 217 on YouTube, come give us a follow, a like, a subscribe. We're actually putting out a video later today that we're moving, and so come check it out and hear what the plans are, and I would deeply appreciate your support, and you like only if you like it, if you like that type of content. So come check us out, Home Church 217, and then check us out here. And I am rambling because we are almost under 3 minutes before we go live on this one, and so Poohty T, we're almost there. And this is fun. These live streams are fun. They're a little bit of a sacrifice, right? Like all of us are at work. I took the morning off. I got to go to work after this is over with at 11. So I've got an hour before I got to get quote unquote back to work. I work from home, so it's a little bit easier. And I have to sacrifice if I do live streams at night. That means I can't actually play. But we do live stream on this channel. So both Madden gameplay, PUBG gameplay, I stream both of those primarily. I do play a little the show, but I'm not streaming because it's just me and the CPU. I think that's kind of boring. But whenever I can get my guys to give me a space, I do stream some PUBG. We got to do a Battlefield stream, Poohty. We got to do some Firestorm. Oh, looks like we got some Easter eggs. Here we go.
All for the promise of peace of what's left.
So there seems to be a fight over vital resources to bring some peace. So interesting.
Yeah, I think that's what the rumors have said. The war is over. Is the two major superpowers left are trying to fight together and keep the resources for themselves, basically, so they can survive. And maybe the weather events like global climate change or whatever that's going on and that's causing all these weather things to happen. That's another rumor I'd read, and that's why there's tornadoes and
no. What just happened?
I don't know. Mine says standby. So
mine went from standby to. Oh, here we go. So they actually started another stream. So we got less than a minute. Any last Easter eggs come out from Tom? Anything we want to talk about in our last minute here?
I sent you a screenshot in our chat of two screenshots that came out recently. One's at two jets chasing you. One jet chasing another in between two buildings. Another one is a tank, and the dude's standing by the tank. And if you look at it, if you look at the one with the tank, and you see the reflection in the water next to the tank, it just goes to show, how much attention to detail they do. I mean, it's awesome. It just looks super real. You know?
There's also lightning in that one with the jets.
Yeah, behind the plane.
Clearly, we're gonna have a lot of weather phenomenons. All right, 30 seconds. We're going to kind of go on mute here as this gameplay. And it hit me, though, as this is playing. I was like, are they going to hit me for copyright, or am I allowed to show this? So I don't know. If this video gets taken down, it's because I wasn't allowed to do this. But maybe they just don't monetize it, which doesn't hurt me at all because I don't make money from YouTube yet anyway because we haven't reached 1,000 subscribers. So here we go, Poohty T. I'm going to mute me and you. We can talk to each other. The stream won't hear it, and then we'll come back right after this is over. So we'll see you in 9 seconds. All right, we should both be back
Sunday.
now.
That's a weird day
There
to
we
begin
have
that on
it.
Sunday.
What an experience we just went through. What'd you think?
A lot of it was really exciting.
That's all Pooty's giving me. A lot of it was really exciting. That was a hell of an experience. I know that. That was not something that I think I was kind of ready for. Let me hold on one second. Let me let me see if I can't mute our friends over at Battlefield or Battle Royal. Battlefield Royal. What am I saying? I don't even know what I'm saying. Let me. He said, I don't know. It was just making too much noise. I needed to take it off. So I gotta. The funny thing is, these browser sources stay alive all the time. And for about a month, I kept hearing commercials, and I was like, where are these commercials coming from? And it was from a game source that I had open. And it was just playing the commercial over and over, and it was freaking me out. And I just figured it out last night. So. There we have it, guys in the chat. Oh, Endless said, what a load of crap. Why delay the gameplay video? I want that baby now. I agree with you, Endless. I don't get why you would delay it 5 days outside of you're just trying to build hype. You're trying to get out in front of some of the news. I don't know, but we could see a lot more there, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think the Battlefield 5 reveal trailer was not that long, but it is something that that's kind of what I expected. Like I said before we started, I didn't expect to see like gameplay stuff because the reveal trailer is normally just like trying to show you cinematic experience to get you ready for
let me
what's
show
coming.
you the window dressing.
The only thing that I saw in it that I did not like was the dude jumping out of the jet, shooting the rocket launcher. And then
catching the jet.
Like, come on, dude.
Stop! You can't catch a jet.
And I'm pretty sure if you shot a rocket launcher in midair, it would probably blow you somewhere. You know,
yes. No, it's totally gonna do that. Yeah, it's
so that was a little
much.
bit, but everything else I liked. I liked it. I liked it very well. Very well done.
I just picked up on something. So on the screenshot that I have up here, and then we'll get back to the revealed trailer unless I want to hear more thoughts. Do you see what I see in here?
Let me see.
Do you pick up on anything on the two jets going through the buildings, the lightning? I cut out. Am I back?
I can hear you. I can hear you now.
I think it's your internet. But anyway, I'm just kidding.
I got the 350 today.
Do you see? Yes, unless that bothered me too. But do you see the little thing that I didn't pick up on until just now? Like, do you see the little detail in there? Endless, do you see it?
The dude in the midair?
Close. There's a zip line. These dudes are zip lining between buildings. That's kind of legit. I'm going to say it right now. There's going to be too much wing jumping, like wingsuits. Clearly, that's a thing now. We've seen it in Warzone. Clearly, it's been in every photo. It was dripping off of the cinematic trailer. Clearly, everyone gets a wingsuit. Everyone can now become a bird and fly everywhere. Don't like it. I got to admit. We'll see where it is in the BR mode because that's really going to be the only mode I play. But so far, it feels like it's going to be gimmicky. Hey, look, EA stuck to what they do really well. It looks like my internet is doing a little hiccup. Oh, it's back. EA stuck to what they do really well, and that is graphics, cinematic trailers, build some hype. Give me your overall thoughts. What are things that stuck out, the good, the bad, the ugly?
I'm with you. The wingsuits definitely seem to be a little too much. And maybe, I don't know, I mean, it could be tied to specific roles that you pick for your character. We don't really know that for sure yet, but I would hope that it would be. Or, like you said earlier, it could be something that you have to pick up. I don't know, but I don't want to see people flying around all the time in wingsuits. That's just not cool. That and the dude jumping out of the jet. I don't know what that was about. I mean, it looked cool if you were in a movie, like if this is
Yeah, it's a
freaking
bit
Mission
much for a
Impossible
video
or
game.
something,
Yeah.
but this, that was a little too much. But other than those two things, I really, even the robot dog, I thought was kind of cool. I don't know how much of a role it'll play. I don't want it walking up and shooting me all the time, like it has a Gatling gun on it or something. But it did seem to have a gun on it, from what I caught of it.
It definitely had a gun.
But overall, I thought it was very well done, and I don't, the wingsuits definitely is a concern. I can say off the bat, like, don't let everyone just do that all the time. That's just crazy. And I guess it'll depend on the maps too. All the maps won't have giant skyscrapers, I don't think. So you may not have an opportunity on some maps to even use it. Who knows?
So you're more of a Battlefield guy than I am. So you can help fill in the gaps because I've had a lot of concussions in my life. But I remember, I think it's Battlefield 4, the island map where there was like 2 islands. There was a ship that, if I remember, is like a wrecked ship, a sinking ship out in the water. Do you know the map I'm talking about?
I do. I don't remember the name of it, but
Was
I do
that was
recall
that
that.
4?
Yes. Yeah.
And so I remember in that map, one of the really neat things. Now are we talking PlayStation 2 days or is that 3? PlayStation 3 days. In
It's
that
PlayStation
map,
4.
was it PlayStation 4? Okay. In that map, there would be like a storm that would roll through. And it would happen like randomly in the map. It would happen early, sometimes late, sometimes in the middle, but like it would get like really windy, it would get really dark, like the trees would start falling over. Like I think that was something that they've now built upon. And clearly you guys are all right that this weather has been weaponized, and we get that in this trailer where it seems like in the middle of this action, a tornado shows up and starts sucking people into it and killing them. So
A
it
giant tornado.
has some potential to be really, really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that map you're
It's
talking
one of the
about.
things they
That was
do
one of the
well,
things I
right?
liked.
With the environment destruction.
Yeah, that map you were talking about, I don't remember the name of it, but I actually have played it recently on PS4, on Battlefield 4, and when the storm comes in and you're out, it's like a desert area that you're at on that island. All you see is you can see a little bit, but your vision is very much darkened by the sand and the debris. There's like all kinds of debris, pieces of tree limbs and paper and all kinds of stuff just flying around to catch your attention, that it really, it hinders your sight. But it makes it feel like you're really going through this. It's not like, a lot of games try to do dynamic weather, but honestly, I think they suck at it. But that's one thing that DICE does excellent, is their dynamic weather is actually dynamic and it actually feels real. So I'm not surprised to see them using weather, whether it's, government weapons or whether it's just like from climate change, that somehow they're claiming it's from climate change that's causing these massive storm things. I just see them being able to use that as an advantage because of something that they do great at. So that's kind of cool.
Are you on your phone? Like, is that how you're
No.
calling into Discord?
No, I'm on my laptop. I'm using
Okay.
my headset that came with my PlayStation 4.
Yeah, it's really. I was about to say the audio is really, really good. A couple. How are you on time? Because I got a couple questions I want to do before you get out of here.
Go for it.
Both gameplay questions and endless. I'd love to hear some of your thoughts, and then like get real detailed about our community, because a big piece of our community, or what has become a big piece of the last 3 months because of you and Endless and some of the other guys doing a lot of great work, is growing our community through PUBG. So I want to talk specifically about our community and kind of the effects of this. Scale of 1 to 10, what do you give this reveal trailer and some of the things that we've seen?
I'd give it an 8 myself. I'd give it a good 8. I thought it was really well done. It wasn't very short. A lot of times.
It wasn't. I think they did a good job there.
A lot of times they only do like a minute and a half for the reveal trailer. So a 4.5 minute trailer was pretty nice. It was a lot of quick action, so we'd have to go back and really look at deals of different screenshots. I'm sure there's stuff hidden in that we didn't even see that was there. I'm willing to bet there was drones somewhere that we didn't see it, but it was in there. Stuff like that.
So the
I like
13th
the
is
trailer.
Sunday, so we'll get gameplay footage
Yeah.
on Sunday.
Yeah, and someone, I think it might have been Tom Henderson, but I think it was him. After that was over with, he said, "I think we'll be playing sooner than we think." So I think what he's
Really?
saying is, I think the rumor of the beta coming out this month, I think may be true. Because once they show the gameplay on Sunday, I wouldn't be surprised if they opened up pre-orders next week, or maybe even Sunday after they reveal gameplay. Because when they reveal the gameplay, they'll probably go over some details also, which they didn't really do today, which I was kind of disappointed in, but not totally, uh, not totally surprised. Yeah, Tom Henderson posted
how
9
long do you
minutes ago.
think we'll
Said,
get
I
it
think,
for? Because that's really, really early.
I'm trying to think. I want to say the last beta lasted for like a week or two. I don't think it was just a weekend.
It's a lot of space, though. If it's going to come out in June, you give it for a week or two, and then the game's not dropping until October. There's a lot of space in there.
Well, they do that to get the feedback so they can make changes before the game comes out. So, and that's what they did with Battlefield 5. I wish I could remember, but it seems like it was. I want to say the beta was open for a good week. It might have been 2 weeks, but it was a good week. It seems like. So, I would expect this beta to be about a week, and they may do it to where if you pre-order, you get it 2 or 3 days earlier. So you may get a little bit longer than a week or something.
Yeah.
It seems like that's what they did with the last one. So I think it's a good chance we get the beta at the end of this month. I think.
Four-wheeler.
We'll have to wait and see.
Four-wheeler off the top of the building into
That was cool.
the helicopter was fairly legit.
Yeah, and that kind of goes to a thing of what we were talking about earlier with battle royales of thinking on your toes and thinking in the moment.
Yeah.
I know that was a cinematic trailer, but if you were in that moment in the game and if you can do that, then you're sitting there thinking, I got to take this helicopter out. And I don't have anything I can shoot it with. Hey, here's a foil. Let me see if I can jump it off the building and run into it. I mean, that was kind of cool because it wasn't outside of the realm of reality like the guy jumping out of the freaking jet shooting a rocket.
Also, super cool to open up where the jet had flares. They were trying to get the missile off of them. Blows the jet up. Everyone's jumping down. They're flying down, but then the jet, the leftovers of the jet roar past them. I thought that was kind of a legit, cool little detail there. Endless says 8 seems fair. I don't know what we're talking about. 8. That kind of confuses me. Definitely some hype on it. An 8 for the rating. My bad. Sorry, Endless. I'm slow here. Needs more details. Battle Royale mode, gameplay, of course. Reminds me of a Bad Company days with C4 on the front of an ATV and ramming it. Yeah, that's legit. It seems like. I think it's a very minor critique, but sometimes they don't know when to hit the brakes. It's like there's so much that can happen in this mode. That's what I enjoy about Firestorm is that you get the crazy over the top sensory overload and the normal gameplay. But then when you go to the BR mode, it is calmed down. It's tamed down and you get that strategic team atmosphere. And so hopefully they keep that up and we don't get, because I don't want a BR mode that's super over the top. How does this affect our community? We have a growing PUBG community. The Warzone community didn't really take over. The Red Dead community kind of died because their online kind of sucked. How do you think, if this game is good, how do you think this is going to affect our community kind of as a whole?
I see it as a good place to grow. I actually noticed recently on the Battlefield forums, they actually have a place already set up that you can advertise for your clans to recruit. And that was a place I was going to post eventually. But I didn't want to do it right now because we're still pretty far out, for the game, and no point in really having people join trying to play a game that they can't play yet. So,
Yeah.
but I do think it is. I do think it has a great potential to bring in a lot of new people to Grown Folks itself and introduce them not just to the group but to the other games that people play, the other leagues, the other clans, all that stuff. I think it's a huge opportunity, and right now, just based on what I see on the horizon coming up this year, it's probably the best place we have as far as potential growth in numbers. Is this will be this game? So I think that's a huge thing.
Well, it sounds like you need to go do a video for us, a long video breaking down what kind of went on today. And we'll have to get that out over the next couple of days, see if we can make that happen. We're going to start putting a bow on this in the next, 10, 15 minutes. Endless, I'd love to hear some of your things in the chat, like things that excite you. What do we want to see from gameplay? When I talk, I'm more of a Madden guy. I love shooters, and I definitely play in the community here with shooters as many nights as there's a space for me, or that my teammates don't hit me with shovels and then shoot me in the face. Thank you, Kevin and Charles, for doing that. But more of a Madden guy. So when I think gameplay, I'm thinking the actual thing that I'm touching and feeling all the time. Whereas when we talk about BR modes, right, it's more vast than that. We're talking about environments. We're talking about how you grab guns, how you collect stuff, how do things end. We're not getting. I think that would be. I'm totally throwing this out. Maybe it doesn't make any sense. Firestorm, it was a fire that pushed you in, which I still say is the best idea ever to BR modes. Could this be two things I'm going to throw out there? Could this one be the BR mode is the weather? It's a storm that's pushing you in. Maybe it's the Category 6 hurricane, and the eye is just getting closer and closer and closer. And that's what's killing you and pushing you in. And then when we think about gunplay because Endless just put it, but when we're thinking about gameplay, what do you want to see? Endless and Poohty, like what gameplay are you looking to see from the Sunday reveal?
I figure they'll show some of the different modes maybe that they have, kind of go over them in a little bit in detail, show them in action. They'll probably go over showing some of the customization things that you can do. They may, reveal information about the beta when you can jump in. I feel like that'll probably be at the end of it. So mostly just details and stuff like that, and then in the gameplay it'll just show, as they're talking about the modes or whatever, you'll just see gameplay of that stuff happening. I think that's kind of what I expect to see on Sunday.
Do you think the zone could be a weather phenomenon?
I think it could be. It's hard to tell right now, but I definitely can see where that would be. Instead of using Firestorm, it could be, they can maybe even use several different weather scenarios for different at different times or whatever. Could change it up some. So
be a neat way to do it. Do you think we see a gulag type situation?
I don't know. That's tough to say.
They're not known for it, but they definitely had it in Warzone.
Until they actually give any information on Battle Royale, it's hard to really say.
Do you want to see... One of the things I like about Warzone is the customization of your weapon. I also equally hate that you can go get money and you can find drops and you can get that weapon that you've customized. You don't get it to start, but you can get it dropped to you. Do you want to see something like that? Do you want to see people to be able to have things dropped into the map for them?
Not really. Nope.
Yeah. Emma said, please no gulag situation.
Yeah, I hate that. It's not a thing, but something that some people, Battlefield News Twitter has posted, it says, no campaign mode, no battle royale at launch. And I just read And again, I don't know where this information comes from, so I don't know if they're getting this from the devs, but when you read this, and it could just be word salad of type thing that they're. Because DICE says Battlefield has no battle royale mode within the launch window. The devs say, in quotation, this is something that we'll have to see, unquote, down the line, but their focus is on the core multiplayer modes for launch. Now, the way that was worded, it almost sounds like they're saying there's no battle royale, but really, it's not going to be at launch. So
That's
they're looking at
disappointing.
adding it. It is, and I don't know why they're doing that. Like, and the reason I don't know why they're doing it is because they actually hired a different dev team to work on it. So I don't know why that team couldn't work on that ahead of time and get that ready for launch while they're getting this other stuff ready for launch. That's pretty disappointing.
And
but-
no campaign mode, which I know a lot of people enjoy. Unless you even just said no campaign mode, that's a huge miss. So no campaign mode and no battle royale mode. That loses a lot of steam.
Well, I don't really play. I don't play hardly anything offline. I don't
Me
play
neither.
campaign modes on almost anything. So to me, that's not a big deal. I've never really been into campaign modes. I mean, I don't know. I guess I've played games too long where used to all you could play was a computer. So I hardly ever play campaign modes on anything. So I know the people who do like stuff like that, though. They're not going to like that if that's true. But again, this is information that's not necessarily confirmed from the devs, so it's hard to say if that's true or not. So we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, Battlefield Twitter has not been wrong so far. That's really disappointing to hear. And I mean, look, your words, not mine. So if I've got you off, please tell me. But it killed Firestorm, and it made it not a legitimate player in the BR mode. And this sounds like it could do the exact same thing. And now I know Warzone came out much later, and so maybe it has potential. But PUBG's putting out new maps, and those new maps have potential of better graphics, and so I don't know. Not the news that I wanted to hear coming out of a really well done trailer here.
Well, this same Twitter that I'm looking at here says they're claiming, and again, I don't know if they've actually talked with the devs or not, but they're saying that they will have an open beta closer to launch. So that wouldn't be this month. And it says a pre-order any edition to get early access to the beta. There will also be a closed NDA technical alpha in early July. Invite only for the alpha. So if that's the case,
What does that mean? Put that in layman's terms.
That would probably mean only like their influencers that they have.
Yeah.
And people like that will probably only get into the alpha in July. And then the beta will probably be July, August. I'd say August to September, probably. If that's true. So
who's this coming from? Is this coming from Tom?
No, this is a called Battlefield News, and it's at Bravo Intel. Is what their Twitter handle is on Twitter. But again, I don't know if it's actually true or not.
Well, shout out to Battlefield News for dropping some bombs right there. That was not what I expected to come out of here. And maybe I'm wrong. Like, again, I'm more of a sports guy, and I juggle a lot of balls around here, and I said balls on the stream. But maybe I'm the one who's off, but I thought BR modes were the modes. Like, they were the thing that people wanted. And I mean, you look at Fortnite, you look at it's not technically a BR mode, but Rocket League took off, right? You look at PUBG and what's taken off there. What was the other game that we used to play that is still rocking and rolling before PUBG in the swap?
H1Z1.
H1Z1, right? Like, there's a lot of money being made by BR modes, and they seem to be such a hot commodity. To hear that this one's going to be delayed again, and who knows if that is legit, but usually that stuff is pretty close. It's disappointing to hear, but if you're PUBG and you're a PUBG fan, it may mean good news for you. It gives them an opportunity to continue to kind of be out front and be the leaders in that.
Yeah. So PlayStation, there's a PlayStation blog that says Battlefield launches October 22nd on PS4 and PS5. First details. So I'm just looking at this blog right now. I'll send it to you in the link. See if there's any actual information in that that's legit. Like,
Yeah, let me see if I can
that
pull this up
confirms.
for everybody.
I'm sending you the link now.
Let's
see,
get back over here.
128 player count on PS5. Destructive real-time weather systems, wingsuit specialist maps, and more revealed. Both one of the biggest maps in the series to date. Real-time extreme weather systems that'll trail through front line. Enhanced terrain deformation, which is destruction basically. Their Frostbite engine is flexing new muscle acquired in the 2 years since Battlefield 5. It also marks the franchise return to near modern day. Stateless soldiers, no patch specialists, now fight on behalf of the remaining superpowers. All Out War and Conquest and Breakthrough. There are 3 gameplay pillars experiences. 2 have been named of that as All Out Warfare, which is the focus on this first look. Hazard Zone, as well as a mysterious 3rd pillar in the development, DICE LA. We'll get a full reveal on a later date.
Is Breakthrough what we played on Firestorm the other day when we were warming up, where you have to like hold down certain areas while the other team tries to take over those areas? Okay.
Yeah. Says DICE reinforced Hazard Zone is something all new for the franchise. The modern take on multiplayer that's a high-stakes squad-based theme type. So that's like a new mode that they're adding. It sounds like it's called Hazard Zone. The studio is emphatic in stressing it isn't a battle royale mode.
I wonder why that is. That just seems like a weird thing to be emphatic about.
Well, I don't know. Again, this is just one of the modes that they're adding, so it still doesn't say that they're not adding battle royale. That's why I'm just kind of skimming through this to see if it says anything else about it. Of those 2 all-out war modes, Conquest has 2 teams duking it out for a huge space. Breakthrough also drops 2 opposing sides into a single location. Maps and other events, a quick tour of both modes. I kind of think more information like this will be dropping throughout today and the rest of the week, actually. They'll be just dropping information left and right, different things.
These maps look really cool. So I got the maps up right now. We've got Kaleidoscope, Sogdo, South Korea. So it's kind of like big city map, skyscrapers, all that other stuff. With a tornado, you can kind of see it off to the right side there, kind of bearing down on the city. Then we've got Manifest, Brani Island, Singapore. So it's more of like a small island type of situation. We've got Orbital, Kourou, French Guiana. And so this is going to be the rocket ship that we've kind of seen for a couple of months now. It looks like a neat map, and the cinematic trailer looked pretty cool with it too. Discard it. I'm going to spit it out. I'm going to get it. I'm going to get with the game here. Discard it in England, India. This kind of looks kind of neat. I like the idea of like a ship that kind of got discarded and thrown away. This one looks kind of neat. It looks like maybe a small map, but Renewal, Eastern Desert, Egypt. Wrestle for control of agricultural technology. It's kind of neat. We got Hourglass, Endura, Qatar, and this looks like a super techie one. Boy, they love their domes. You and I kind of talked about that during the trailer. There seems like to be several domes in these maps. Here's the one that kind of opened up everything. Breakaway, Queen, Maudi Island, Antarctica. And so some cool looking maps, man. They're beautiful to look at. I really like the hourglass, like that look of like you're in the desert. Clearly, there's a desert storm that's happening. That's kind of dark in the skies. Let's meet our specialist. What do we have here?
So it's showing.
Go ahead.
For assault, you can have a grappling hook. For a recon person, you can have a drone. So that's kind of showing different special things that you get with your, whatever type specialist you pick, I guess.
A pistol that fires health vials to those who need them. That's a little much, EA. A little much.
Yeah, that one was a little bit. Okay, guys. But again, they're trying to go 21 years into the future. So
totally. 10 specialists at launch, which is way more than what Battlefield 5 had. I think there's only 4 that you could pick. Well, again, we're talking Battle Royale mode, so maybe that was why. We're marching towards the 4-month mark before launch, and most of what those weeks ahead hold, we can only speculate on. 2 things are confirmed. Pre-launch players who pre-order can get a taste. Oh, this is what you read. Oh, my bad. I didn't mean to reread what you read.
Oh, you're fine.
And then EA confirms that new locations will be accessible to all players. So, a lot to take in. I really like the maps. They're super legit. What is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 maps. Not bad to kind of open up everything. How many did Battlefield 5 have?
I'm not real sure, but it's probably around 7 or 8, I think.
Okay. And we only had access to the one big map that had the multiple places on the BR mode. So it definitely loses just a little something for me. Max Creed says rest in peace, Call of Duty. You could be 1,000% right, Max. It might be the very end of Call of Duty, but it loses something for me that we're not getting a VR mode. That's kind of disappointing to hear that. At least we're not getting one at launch. We'll have to see what we get. All right, last little couple minutes here. Give me some closing thoughts, things to look forward to. You kind of read this. We watched the trailer. There's more news than we can shake a stick at, so we'll have to do some news videos here soon. But wrap us up with some closing thoughts. Guys in the chat, I'd love to hear some closing thoughts from you, and we'll wrap this thing up in the next 5 minutes.
Well, Wario64 just posted this. You can already pre-order it at Best Buy for, it says $69.99 and $59.99. It's got it listed for PS5, Xbox X, PS4, Xbox One, and PC. So pre-orders are already up, it seems like. But I still, even without the Battle Royale, I'm still pretty pumped for this. I really like Battlefield in general, always have. Some of the things about it being futuristic I'm not a huge fan of, but knowing that it's set in the future, I can look at it and say, well, that's probably possible. Again,
yeah, we knew there'd be a little bit of a trade-off there.
But I'm pretty pumped for it. It was a good 4.5 minute trailer, so it showed a lot of cool stuff. I like to go back sometime when I have time and break down details that's probably shown there that we didn't catch, in the first run through. But I was impressed.
Does this lose steam? Steam is not the word I'm looking for. Does this come down a bunch of notches for you if the BR mode comes out much later? Are you still buying this game? Are you still buying this game at launch if there's no BR mode?
Oh yeah, I'm probably still going to pre-order the game. Yeah, I would like for it to have been ready at launch, but I can deal with it not being ready at launch.
So if 5 would have not been a World War II game, you would have bought that at launch, even though the BR mode was not ready till months after.
Yes, if it had just been more current time period, yes, I would have.
Yeah.
That was the reason I didn't buy it, because I played Battlefield 1. It was World War I. It was all right, but I was after 2.5 years of that, I was really ready for them to go back to current times, and the fact that they didn't, I was like, nope. But now that they are going back to it, and it looks pretty legit, I'm definitely going to pre-order this.
What about as a community? Does it still have some growth potential when it comes out?
I think so.
Because I don't see the community growing over the normal modes. I could be wrong there. I think the community only grows, like we only start to have like a clan and stuff if there's a BR mode, but I could be totally wrong.
Well, I think it definitely has a chance to. I think there's some people in the community who already play Battlefield, like Poohty and stuff, who like the other modes, Sean. So we've already got some guys who already like playing the other modes. I think it definitely has potential because it's going to be a really good shooter, especially those who have new gen consoles. I think it's going to be really, really awesome. So I think we have a good chance here to grow the community with it.
Endless says, I'll get the game regardless, but the BR mode will lose luster for me if I'm still not playing the core game when it comes out. Yeah, I'm going to be a BR only guy. I just, the little bit that we played in the normal mode, it's just I'm too old, I guess. I guess I'm crudgy in that way. It's like, I don't want to die every 45 seconds, and there's no strategy. It's just like balls to the wall. Let's just see how many people you can kill. I like it for a warm-up. Like, it's fun once or twice for 20, 30 minutes or whatever to kind of warm up. But the thing that draws me in is that real, like, BR mode. Like, how do we strategize what we're doing and work together as a team to be the last team standing? That's what really does it for me. So we'll see. And I don't know if I could drop $70 on a game that I'm not really that interested in unless it has a BR mode. So that's going to be also just a little tough to do. So, hey, this has been a ton of fun, Poohty. I wish we got to try to do more of these. I mean, it's not often that you get drops and stuff, but maybe we'll see when the Sunday stuff is going to drop. So maybe we could do a live stream, just either recapping some of that, because I know you have church on Sundays, and if we can't do it live, maybe we can do a recap. Oh, that's right. You're off at the beach.
I'll probably won't be home until 1 or 2 on Sunday, but just real quick,
maybe Sunday afternoon we could do something like that.
Yeah. So I'm watching this. I saw one of the devs say that part where they jumped out of the plane and shot the airplane with a rocket and everything was inspired by you. And I didn't really know what that meant. And then I just seen a video of someone on Battlefield 4 literally did this in Battlefield 4. They jumped out of a plane, shot a rocket, blew up the plane, and jumped back in their plane. So that's actually what that was like a shout out to that video of it actually happening in Battlefield 4. That's what that was. So
yeah, I do remember seeing that come out. So the one human that was able to do that, now it's in the trailer. Yeah. Well, this has been a ton of fun. We'll see when the new information comes out on Sunday, and we'll see if we can't come out with some new stuff. Do me a favor, hit the like button on this for me. You might have to close the chat. Just hit the little X and then hit the like button. Share it if you liked it, if you enjoyed it. And if you're not subscribed, give us a subscribe. Come hang out with us for our Grown Folks News. We put out a lot of YouTube shorts. We also, Poohty helps me do a lot of the longer, deeper breakdowns. We got a lot of Madden news coming out. 2K news is probably going to be delayed, but we've got 2K around the corner. We got NCAA around the corner. Of course, Battlefield's going to be dropping. PUBG's dropping some new stuff. So a lot of great news out there that we can talk about. And then on Sunday night, we'll be coming live with Press Pass Live as we continue to look at NHL and break it down with what we're doing with Madden, like what lessons could be learned within the same company that could really give us the depth of feel in the franchise. And as always, if you're looking for both leadership tips and videos, if you're looking for spiritual health and growing in the best relationships possible that you can have for your life, with the ultimate relationship being with Jesus Christ, come give me a follow on my personal channel, Home Church 217 on YouTube. Home Church 217 on all social media, including an app. We have a really awesome app, Home Church 217, anywhere that you download apps. I would love to get you just to come check us out. If you like it, you can give us a subscribe and a follow, because there's new stuff that's dropping every single week over there. So lots of good stuff. Poohty T, it's been awesome. Endless, thanks for hanging out. I've seen our buddy Matt from League Crawler, Max, popped in. I appreciate all of you coming and hanging out with us. we're going to go ahead and wrap it up because sadly, I did not take the full day. I wanted to take the full day. There's so much work, I couldn't take the full day, but I did take 2 hours, and that runs out in the next 15 minutes. So they're going to be looking for me to show up at work. But guys, a lot of love from old Nate. I appreciate you hanging out, Pooty. It is always a pleasure to get to hang out with you. Be blessed today. Walk in the best relationships possible. And until we see you next time, God bless you. Peace. As I say that, my iPad restarts, and now all my buttons are not on the right scene. So you're hanging out with me just for a few extra minutes here while I get it to the right scene as soon as this iPad plays nice. This makes me want a new iPad. That's what I need. All right, we're leaving for real this time. All right, God bless you.
I don't like.